Hello everybody, this is Thomas here and I have absolutely amazing guest here today. I think you will love this guest. Her name is Callie Rae King and she's in a very special niche, at least something I believe. She's in niche of horse riding, horse training, horse care, and she's been doing all this for over 17 years. But she's also absolutely amazing person and entrepreneur, and actually she is very purpose-driven entrepreneur, and she's got a lot of great things to share. And especially women, listen carefully, because once you will meet with Callie, you will really feel very encouraged seeing what all you can do. So let me welcome Callie. Hi, Callie.
Hi, Tomas. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
So I just did a very brief introduction. Just let us know if I've forgotten anything important, besides that you're also an author of 2 books that can be purchased on Amazon. That is another great thing. So what else can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, well, you pretty much summed it up. I've been riding for a long time, and then I started doing it as a business at my physical location here. I'm in Honeybrook, Pennsylvania, on the east coast of the United States. So I had my physical business working one-on-one with clients and obviously working with horses. And then I started learning a little bit more and realized that I could branch out to the internet world. So then I started, I wrote the books through the last few years, and I also started creating online video courses, and just the business has really expanded as a result of that direction.
That's absolutely incredible. And just let me ask you to make sure, you've been in online business just for a couple of months. It's 8 or 9 months, right?
Actually, I've been having most of my success has been more recent, but I've been doing the online business as far as blogging and kind of trying things out for about 4 years now.
Okay, so about 4 years, but this year, 2016, last 8-9 months especially, you have some great breakthroughs, you have really amazing results, and that's something we're going to talk about. But before we continue with this, just let us know a little bit about how you became a woman entrepreneur. What happened in your life that you made this decision, and also what all you had to let go to get on this journey? Because I believe you had to challenge a lot of fear that you had to let go, or hesitance. So how did it feel? How it all became?
Yeah, well, I think I was very lucky in the sense that my parents owned a business. So growing up, I was kind of always had that entrepreneur mindset. And I had a number of little businesses as a kid, kind of the stereotypical lemonade stand. And then I had, some snack booths that I would set up at school and other places where I was with kids. So I kind of had that entrepreneurial idea for quite a while. And then I just, I wanted to do something with horses. It was really, I guess you could say my passion in life, but I was a little bit discouraged because of the other people that I saw in business, in kind of the typical horse business, that they weren't having a lot of success and they weren't getting a lot of fulfillment from it. So that was more of the sticking point for me. Was I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and be in business, but it took some, I guess, belief that I could go a different direction and kind of do things a different way to actually step into the horse business.
Well, you said something very important. You said you were a little bit discouraged, and also that you decided to go a completely different direction. I would like to get especially into this point, because that's something, you just said this in 10 seconds, but it's something that's very difficult to do, and it usually means a lot of feelings getting sorted out and a lot of confidence just bring up to do this. So how did you feel and how did you overcome all these hesitance and everything that just made you go to completely different direction or your own direction?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it was one of those things that I just decided that I had a vision for what I wanted to create, and I felt that there had to be a way to make it happen. So I just started taking small steps, and initially, honestly, it was small steps in a lot of different directions. So it was all kind of within this goal or this vision that I had, but it's different avenues of making that happen. And so I guess in that sense, I maybe made the process easier for myself because I didn't go out with a huge concrete business plan that this was like the, do it or fail and see, give it 3 months to work and see what happens. I knew that it would work long term, that I would find a way. It was just figuring out what was that way and doing lots of experiments and little steps. I think, as I was kind of trying to think a little bit on my last few years preparing for the interview, I think one of the themes has been for me is just I'm constantly trying to move forward in some way. So as soon as I feel like I'm getting stuck, I try something new, even if at the time I almost sense that it's not going to work. It's just like it's action, and eventually something's going to stick.
Okay, so let me repeat 3 main points that you just mentioned. The first one is vision. That's so important. So you had some vision at the very beginning. What was the vision?
The vision was really that I could have a business doing things with horses that was filled with joy for both me and my clients and for the horses, which seems like a simple concept, but in the horse industry sometimes it's not. So that was the first thing. And I wanted to work with the type of people that I really enjoy. So, I love working with adult riders who are just getting into horses, and I love working with people who are really intelligent and kind of bring their own knowledge and life experience into this new, hobby or new activity for them of riding and working with the horses. And then I also kind of had a vision for my life of, I love to travel, and everyone always says that, well, if you have a farm, you're just going to be tied down there. So I always had the vision that, I had to maintain the ability to be able to travel, even though I was going to build this farm. And I also wanted, a lot of financial independence and prosperity. I wanted to be able to do something that I felt really good about, but also make a good living at it, not be, just scraping by.
Okay, so that's awesome. So that's the first step, vision. The second one you mentioned is small steps. And I mean, this is big. Small steps, it's really big. Mm-hmm. So what, in your point of view, it's a small step? How, let's say, a woman who wants to start any kind of business and wants to go through the first small steps, what these steps are, what would it look like in your case?
Yeah, in my case, a small step is something as simple as making a phone call or sending an email. So times where I start to feel like I'm a little bit stuck, or, I have like overwhelm of ideas, I'll, get on the phone with a past client, I'll reach out to a mentor, I'll, sometimes, reach out to someone else that is in my industry that I feel could have good advice for me. And for me, that's honestly probably one of the biggest challenges, because I am more of a introverted person, and I like to, asking for help or asking for ideas is sometimes challenging, and it really was in the beginning, but it's been the most important small step that I feel I can take in any situation, is just looking for collaboration, really, whether that's clients or partners or prospects, just getting out and talking to people.